Today's tech news moves fast, but understanding it shouldn't be hard. That's why Snarful Solutions Group brings you Connecting the Dots, where we break down what's happening in tech and why it matters to you. Now, let's dive in with your hosts.
Welcome back to Connecting the Dots. I'm Alex.
And I'm Morgan. We're from the Snarful Solutions Group right here in Sacramento.
It is Friday, November 14th, 2025, and we're here to help you untack what's happening in the world of tech and finance.
And before we get to the big stories, a quick look outside our window.
Right, here in Sacramento, we're looking at chance showers today, high of about 63 degrees. That atmospheric river is still hanging around.
It is. It's bringing some pretty heavy rain and, snow up in the Sierra Nevada, anything above 7,000 feet. And that means potential flooding down in Southern California is still a concern through the weekend.
Okay, let's turn to the markets. It felt like a really choppy day, kind of a mixed bag at the close.
Very mixed. The Dow Jones closed down just a bit, about 0.5% at 47,004.15. That keeps it slightly in the red for the week.
But the S&P 500 actually had a better day.
It did, yeah. It managed to climb about 0.36%, closing at 6,696.05. But it's still down over 1% for the week.
And Bitcoin, it's been hovering near that big $100,000 mark, but it seems to have taken a hit.
A pretty big one. The volatility is definitely back. It closed at $96,404.46, which is down 3.30% in just the last 24 hours.
Wow.
And that puts it down over 9% for the week.
Oh.
And that drop is, well, it's a really important piece of context for our first big story.
It certainly is. But before we get there, we want to thank our sponsor, Old Glory. With the holidays coming up, you're probably looking for gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And they have amazing gear for any music or sports fan. I mean, even for that techie friend who has everything.
It's an iconic store, and you'll definitely find something unique there.
And here's the best part. If you use our promo code SNARFUL, all one word, at checkout, you'll get 15% off your entire purchase. Just go to oldglory.com.
Okay, let's get into it.
It is time for our Morning Star, the top 3 tech stories you need to know about today. And the first one is, it's a really big deal. It signals a fundamental shift in the U.S. crypto business.
It's a landmark announcement, really. The publicly traded Bitcoin miner Bitfarms, that's ticker BITF, is getting out of Bitcoin mining completely.
Completely.
100%. They're pivoting their entire business over to AI infrastructure and high-performance computing. They're the first major miner to announce a total exit.
That's just, Bitcoin is trading at $96,000 a coin, and they're walking away. What is happening? Why?
It all comes down to the money. The financials are really forcing their hand here.
Okay.
Their Q3 earnings just came out. They posted a net loss of $46 million.
Wow, $46 million.
And that's double the $24 million loss they had this time last year. On top of that, their revenue missed what analysts were expecting by more than 16%.
So the business just isn't working for them anymore?
Not in the U.S., it isn't. The cost of energy, the mining difficulty.
Yeah.
It's all eating away at any profit they might have made.
So they're swapping one power-hungry business for another, moving into what they call GPU as service, or GaaS. Is this happening overnight?
No. It's a gradual wind down of their Bitcoin operations through 2026 and into 2027. But their CEO, Ben Gagnon, made this absolutely stunning comparison about the potential here.
This is the part that really got my attention. Tell everyone what he said.
Okay, so he pointed to just one of their sites, their 18-megawatt facility in Washington state. Now, to be clear, that's less than 1% of their entire company portfolio.
Right, a tiny fraction.
And he said that converting just that one site to run, liquid-cooled NVIDIA GB300 chips for AI could generate more net operating income than their entire history of Bitcoin mining combined.
Yeah, it is insane. Let that sink in. 1% of their infrastructure pointed at AI is potentially worth more than everything they've ever done mining Bitcoin.
It just shows you the astronomical demand and, frankly, the margins available for AI compute right now.
So what did the market think of this brilliant pivot?
Well, the market hated it, at least in the short term. The stock, BITF, dropped 18% on the news. It's down 51% in the past month.
So what's the real story here for you, for our listener?
It means that Bitcoin mining in high-cost places like the U.S. is becoming a really tough business. The operations are moving to places with cheaper energy, like the Middle East or Russia. And here, that energy infrastructure is getting repurposed for the AI gold rush.
It's a huge shift. Okay, from commercial reality to regulatory reality. Let's head over to Europe, where they are wrestling with how to police this borderless world of crypto.
Exactly. The European Commission has a new proposal on the table, and it's a big one. They want to centralize a lot of the crypto oversight and give that power to ESMA, the European Securities and Markets Authority.
So sort of like creating their own version of the SEC in the US, but for all of Europe.
That's the goal. Right now, the system is really fragmented.
Because of that MiCA framework, right?
Right. MiCA introduced this concept called passporting. Basically, if a crypto company gets a license in any one EU country, they can then operate across the entire block of 27 nations.
Okay, so I can see the problem. It creates a regulatory race to the bottom.
Yeah.
You just find the easiest place to get a license and then set up shop everywhere.
You nailed it. And we've seen it happen. You have firms like Robinhood getting a license in Lithuania or OKX in Malta, and then they're free to operate in the huge markets like France and Germany.
And I'm guessing France and Germany aren't too thrilled about that.
Not at all. They, along with Italy and Austria, are the ones pushing for ESMA to get direct control over the large cross-border exchanges. They're worried about inconsistent standards, security risks, money laundering, all the big concerns.
But when you centralize power like that, there's always a risk, isn't there? A trade-off.
There is. Some in the industry are worried that a single centralized regulator might be less nimble, that it might create legal confusion, or that you lose that local, on-the-ground expertise that national regulators have.
So the proposal still has to get through the European Parliament.
It does. But what this really shows is how the world's major economies are all grappling with the same fundamental problem. How do you regulate a global digital financial system without stifling it?
A question nobody seems to have a perfect answer for yet. Okay, for our third story, we're shifting focus from regulation back to the giants of the industry, specifically Tether.
Yes, Tether, the company behind the USDT stablecoin. They're making some very aggressive, very deliberate moves into the world of traditional finance.
Their CEO, Paolo Ardoino, talked about a dramatic expansion in lending, but not to other crypto companies.
No, not at all. They're expanding lending to commodities traders.
Commodities, you mean like oil and wheat?
Exactly. Oil, cotton, wheat, agricultural products, the basic building blocks of the global economy. Tether has already loaned out about $1.5 billion to that sector.
Using both regular dollars and their own stablecoin, USDT.
That's right. And for anyone listening, we really need to understand the scale of Tether here, because $1.5 billion is, believe it or not, a drop in the bucket for them.
It really is. I mean, this is a company that holds $135 billion in U.S. treasuries.
Which makes them the 17th largest holder of U.S. debt in the world. They hold more than South Korea, more than Germany. It's staggering.
And the CEO expects them to blow past Brazil's $200 billion holding soon.
So you have this crypto native company that is one of the biggest creditors to the U.S. government. And now it's using that massive capital base to finance global trade in things like food and energy.
The lines are getting very, very blurry between crypto and, traditional banking.
They're being erased. Now, to be fair, they're still a pretty small player compared to the big banks and commodity lending, but their ambition is huge.
Speaking of ambition, there is that fun little detail about their other interests.
Oh, right. The CEO has openly said they're very interested in buying the Italian soccer club, Juventus.
And they're already the second largest shareholder, I read.
They are. So you have a stablecoin giant trying to finance wheat farmers on one hand and buy a legendary sports team on the other. It really just shows you how deeply this capital is embedding itself into the mainstream world.
You really can't make this stuff up.
Nope.
Okay, that wraps up our Morningstar report. But before we recap, we also want to thank our other amazing sponsor, Scony.
That's Scony. If you're a golfer or just want some incredibly comfortable, stylish shoes, you have to check them out. They are premium quality.
They are. And just like with our other sponsor, you can use the promo code SNORFUL at checkout to get 15% off your entire order.
Find them at scony.com.
All right, let's bring it all home. What are the 3 big takeaways for everyone listening today?
I think the big theme is crypto growing up and being forced to integrate with the real world. First, the Bitfarms story shows the hard economic truth that in the U.S. right now, AI is just a much more profitable business than Bitcoin mining.
Okay, 1. What's 2?
Second, the EU's move to give ESMA more power shows how regulators everywhere are struggling to create a unified rulebook for a borderless industry.
And finally, Tether.
And Tether's move into commodity locking shows that this massive pool of crypto capital is no longer staying in its own lane. It's flowing directly into the core plumbing of the global economy.
Excellent summary. A lot to think about heading into the weekend.
For sure.
We're here to help at Snarful, so reach out on our website if you have any more questions.
That's a wrap on today's top stories. Remember, tech doesn't have to be complicated, and we're here to help connect the dots. If you've got questions or want to learn more, visit us at snarful.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.